What's going on, everybody? If you are new here, my name is Alex Ep.3. I've got a Tesla Model 3. This channel is all about electric vehicles and Tesla. And today I'm going to be answering some questions you guys sent me on social media. First question is from Paul. He says, with full self-driving regularly going up in price, should it be considered as an appreciating asset of the vehicle? So if you've been following Tesla news, you probably saw that the price of full self-driving recently got increased to $10,000 to add to your car, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, but given the features of it, I can definitely see why some of it is justified. And I do think that this full self-driving capability should be considered an appreciating asset of the car. There are cars from 2017, like Model 3s and stuff, that have the same full self-driving capabilities as a brand new car coming off the lot. So definitely should be included as part of the value of the vehicle. But as some people have figured out, if you go to trade in your car to Tesla, Tesla does not necessarily recognize the price of that full self-driving software. If you compare a Model 3 with just regular autopilot, the trade-in value to the trade-in value of a Tesla Model 3 with full self-driving, the difference is not what full self-driving is worth. So unfortunately, I don't think Tesla recognizes it as an appreciating asset of the vehicle right now, but I definitely think they should. Do you ever run into aggression against your Tesla? I've heard of things like coal rolling from a friend of mine that drives a Tesla in and around Columbus. That question's from Kevin. Fortunately, I have not. Obviously, just being in a big city, you'd get aggressive drivers. I don't know if they're aggressive towards me because I have a Tesla or just because people are on the road and driving around. I think that just happens. So I personally have not received any aggression towards me, thankfully. Is the fit and finish as bad as auto journalists have said? From Chatamus. I did a whole video showing my delivery process, took some up close videos and stuff of my car, and personally I'm not an expert in determining how well my car is put together, but I think definitely it looked as good as I think it could have looked. I didn't take measurements of panel gaps or anything ridiculous like that, but I think just giving the car a once over, I think it looked completely fine. I wasn't really worried about that. I didn't have any weird issues on the interior or paint peeling off or anything awful like that. I think it's something you should definitely look at when you are taking delivery. You do have the right to refuse that car if you don't think it's within spec. So if you are getting a Tesla delivered, definitely take your time, look it over. You're paying a lot for a brand new car, so definitely do your due diligence and make sure the car looks good before you take delivery. Noah asked, if you couldn't have the Model 3, which other Tesla would you own and why? When I was looking at buying the Model 3, I was actually comparing it to buying a used Model S, and I think that's probably what I would have gone with if the Model 3 wasn't as inexpensive as it is. That's probably the car I'd be driving right now. I do like the Model S. It's a little bit bigger than I like in a car, but that also means you get some more storage. It's a little bit quicker, all that good stuff. So I'd probably be driving a Model S from Tesla if I didn't have my Model 3. Kilowatt Auto asked, why do you think Tesla is so polarizing? There seems to be a decent amount of people rooting for them to fail as a company. I think just because, like any company, Tesla is paving the way into a new industry, and I think that's very concerning for legacy auto. Nobody has really been successful creating electric vehicle outside of Tesla. I think we see a lot of new vehicles coming to market that are looking very promising, but nobody has had the success that Tesla has had with electric vehicles. And I think with success comes a lot of haters and criticism, especially from the legacy auto industry, which has pumped out gas cars for decades now. And I think any threat to them continuing to do that and continuing to produce gas cars and make money on service and maintenance and all that stuff is very concerning. So I think that's where a lot of the hate comes from. And I think that's true with any new technology. I mean, when the iPhone came out, it was a very polarizing piece of technology, and I think the same is true with Tesla. Question from Instagram, have you camped in your Model 3? I have not yet. That is definitely something I want to do next year, actually. I want to plan a sort of road trip where I just take 2 weeks and travel across the country, camp in my Model 3 a couple times, find some chargers all across the United States, and just do a fun adventure in my electric car and prove that you can take long road trips in an electric car and it can be enjoyable. So definitely something I want to do, but I have not yet. If your next car couldn't be an EV or Tesla, what would it be? Honestly, I think this is kind of a boring answer, but I think I would be driving just a regular commuter car. I don't think if I couldn't have an EV or a Tesla, I don't think I would be doing everything I'm doing right now. It's a big part of what I enjoy doing and what I enjoy sharing. And I think I would just be buying a car that just gets me around. I don't really need anything too special. I think just getting like a Toyota Camry or Honda Accord, something just simple like that that gets me around town, would probably be what I would be driving. Question from Daryl on Twitter. He asks, since you just pre-ordered the Cybertruck, if you end up buying it, trading in the Model 3 at the time, are you going to have two Teslas around your place? What's your thought process around needing a Cybertruck? More room? Do you haul stuff a lot? So if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw that I pre-ordered a Cybertruck, and I did this for a few reasons. First off, the full self-driving price was going to be increasing to $10,000. And with a Cybertruck pre-order, you can actually lock in that price of full self-driving. So by pre-ordering a Cybertruck, I locked in full self-driving at $8,000. So if I end up buying a Cybertruck with full self-driving, I'm instantly saving $2,000, which kind of was a no-brainer for me. The pre-order fee is only $100 and it's completely refundable from Tesla, so I figured I might as well put my name in the hat there so that I have that option. If I end up keeping the Cybertruck, I think what I'm going to be using it for mainly is just an extra car, but also as a rental vehicle. I want to eventually get into the points where I can rent out electric vehicles. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. And with the Cybertruck, it is just completely indestructible. Like, you don't need to worry about the paint chipping or like even just the car falling apart or anything like that. Like, maintenance is super low on an EV. Don't need to worry about major stuff going wrong with the Cybertruck. So I think that'd be a great vehicle to rent out, especially because it's going to be such a hot vehicle that people want to check out. So I think that would be my goal with the Cybertruck. If you had to compare the Model 3 to other brands, what is the equivalent? I know Tesla in the past has released what people most often trade in for a Tesla, and I think it's a lot of luxury brands like Mercedes, BMW, and I think those are kind of the most equivalent, at least in a gas car. For an EV, I really don't think there's anything really close right now. There's maybe the Porsche Taycan is the closest. But in terms of the Model 3, I think anything that is similarly priced, similar performance, you're probably looking at like a BMW or a Mercedes. I think those are kind of the two that come to mind. And hopefully, as new companies are popping up, I hope Tesla gets even more competition. That's only going to make them better and only going to make other companies better. So definitely looking forward to competition. Thoughts on the Model 3 upgrades. So again, if you follow Tesla news, you probably saw that the Model 3 got a bit of an interior refresh. Also got some additional miles, got a factory black trim, which I'm a big fan of. So I really like these upgrades. I still haven't done a chrome delete on my car, but it's something I want to do. So I think if I bought a Model 3 right now, I'd probably be more happy with it than I was when I bought my Model 3 about a year ago. So big fan of the black trim, like having the additional miles. I believe my spec went up by about 30 miles, like it has extra range already. I think the interior looks good as well. I don't like how you can't close where your phone is. I like having that closed and having it kind of like a sleek look in there, but I do like the new interior as well. I think it looks a little bit more refined and a little bit more clean. But just overall, I'm a big fan, and I think part of the reason I bought a new car is because Tesla is constantly updating these cars. They don't do the traditional model years. They just update their cars as soon as they have new technology to put in them. They just push it in the cars and start producing it that way. So I think if you're buying a Tesla, if you want to save some money, you can go the used route. But if you want the latest and greatest, it's not really going to save you much by buying a model year older. Especially just with how limited the supply of Model 3s is right now, I still think buying brand new is better than buying used right now. That'll definitely change over the years, and I hope it does, because I know a lot of people that want just a cheap used Model 3 and are fine with getting a used car. So hopefully that market grows over the next couple of years. And that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I want to keep doing these Q&As a lot more often. I think it's good for just informal answers to a lot of your guys' comments and a chance for me to answer some more questions that I might not be able to articulate as well in comments. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.